Hello and welcome. Good day, good morning, good afternoon, good time. Swishes, hits, and kicks. I am the hostess with the mostest. I am the one and the only. I am the only one you'll be listening to on this. Unless somebody pops in, unless we get a special appearance, unless we get a special guest. We don't got any of those things. You're stuck with me. You're stuck with Richard Carry-On. What it do? Hello, how are you? And today on the Jordan episode of Swishes, Hits, and Kicks, that episode 23, we are going to discuss a couple things. Not too many things, but a couple of things. Recording on Tuesday. On a Tuesday. Remember when that shit was popping? Man, that was a sad time. But this will drop Wednesday. I'll be uploading more audio. I am very backlogged on my audio catalog on podcasts. I believe we're going to be doing it mostly on Spotify podcasts. I pay for Spotify as it is. I might as well stick with Spotify. But yeah, what's up? There's some things I want to talk about, things I want to get into, things I'm more in tuned with than others. If you're listening to this and it's a sports show, Swish, Hits, and Kicks, obviously Swish, Hit, and Kick. You would assume that we're talking about the Olympics, but we're not because I'm not entertained. So let's talk about what happened on Saturday. We're talking about what I watched live on Saturday. UFC 304, we're going into MMA, some mixed martial arts, some Ultimate Fighting Championship, and let's talk about UFC 304 in Manchester. Bloody hell. Bloody hell, the hydration. Come on, mate. We're going to get tea and crumpets and fish and chips, mate. What the hell, mate? I don't know what the hell happened on that card. I'm sure most of you, if you watched it, you would kind of agree that, like, damn. Like, we saw an early knockout in the early prelims, and it just died. Like, it just got real boring. It got real boring all the way up to, thank the Lord above, for Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Bobby Green, he's going by King Green. King Green shot in a takedown on Paddy. Was so surprised. And Paddy did what he does, choked his ass out. I think most people would assume that he would have choked out Bobby in that first round. Bobby, his jiu-jitsu's on point, but man, Paddy Pimblett is just showing he belongs. He keeps, defying people. People want him to lose. Like, they want Paddy to lose, just like they want Sugar Sean to lose. They wanted Conor to lose. Even Floyd Mayweather, man, people bought him, his pay-per-views just to see him lose, and it didn't happen. And Paddy's killing it right now. You hear some people talking in the space. They want to do the slow route for Paddy Pimblett. They want the UFC to take it real slow, and I don't really know if they can, We're 6 fights in, and Paddy's 6-0. Like, Paddy Pimblett is 6-0. So, like, that is a hard thing to do. To take it slow like that. And he's undefeated, Sugar Sean, like, yeah, it took him a long time, I guess, till he got to the title. But if you want to go from, like, the Cheeto fight to when he won the title, I say the Cheeto fight because that was a fight he lost. Sugar Sean had 5 fights. I remember it was 4 fights after Cheeto, and they gave him Peter Yan. And everyone couldn't believe, like, they're giving him Peter Yan, and he beat Peter Yan by split decision and then dominated Aljo. I think you give Paddy Pimblett like a Dan Hooker if he wins coming up in August. Rafael Dos Anjos. And if he beats them by a finish, throw his ass to the wolves, man. Let him fight and let him win. I think it'd be fun. So thank God for Paddy Pimblett, who woke the crowd up. The crowd went crazy for him. Superstar. And thank God for the honey badger himself, man. Tom Aspinall. Like, excuse me. Tom Aspinall, man, came in and put Derek Lewis, not Derek Lewis. Curtis Blades, man, he laid him out. Did what he was supposed to. He's arguably the best heavyweight in the world. I am still flabbergasted we're rolling with John Jones versus Stipe. I get it. It's really easy to market. It's actually simple to market. This might be the most simple main event to market besides probably Izzy and Duplessis in Australia will be John Jones versus Stipe. John Jones is the GOAT, greatest of all time. Dana White calls Stipe Miocic the greatest heavyweight of all time. So I see why they're still going with it. I just think it's hard to deny that Tom Aspinall is the best heavyweight in the world. It's just hard to deny it. And then we had the main event. We had Leon Edwards defending his welterweight championship against Bilal Muhammad. I said Leon was going to win. And boy, was I wrong. I think a lot of people were wrong. I assume because Bilal's been off for a year, and his style might have fed right into Leon, but my gosh, he pressed Leon like no one has, and that was the way to win. He kept pressing him, and man, he drowned Leon. Leon looked like he didn't want to be in there, and Dana White already said we're probably not doing an immediate rematch. Yeah, that doesn't need to. It wasn't like close enough that it should have been an immediate rematch. Leon should go fight at Ian Gary. Do it in London. Man, that would be a great fight. Interesting fight card. Dana White looked pissed. He didn't look happy with it because it was kind of boring. So, that was funny. Next for the UFC, though, is they're heading to Saudi Arabia. Now, normally when it comes to these fight nights, I'm always like, man, they are so hit or miss there, whether you should watch them or not, right? And this one's on ABC. And you assume, man, when you lose out of a big fight like a Nick Diaz versus Vicente Luque, dropped out because Diaz couldn't make it, travel issues, oh man, what are we gonna do? It's still a great card. Main event will be Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Man, I said that great. Shout outs to me, yeah. Obviously, with that last name, we know of Khabib Nurmagomedov, and I'm going to make an assumption that his cousin, Umar, I like Corey Sandhagen, but I'm going to make an assumption, and I'm going to say it now, and I think most people, will agree. I think he is going to beat Corey. I like Corey. I think this dude is coming. He is coming. And he's heading towards he's heading towards a title shot, personally, I think. That's just my opinion. The co-main now will be man, these names though, right? Let's be honest here. The UFC gets you some names, man. It's terrible sometimes. It's worse than the Key and Peele sketch. Sharbutan Magomedov. We all know him as he almost has one eye in a way. That's how people really know him, Magomedov. He's fighting in the co-main event. I think the co-main event should have been a 5-round fight between Chito Vera and Davison Figueiredo. Tony Ferguson's on this card against Michael Chiesa. Mackenzie Dern's back. This is actually a fight night I think that's worth checking out. There will be in Abu Dhabi. It'll be on ABC. I will be covering it next week. I'm excited to watch this, actually. If you have nothing to do on Saturday, that you can watch this, or you can watch SummerSlam, which I'll talk about SummerSlam. I'll drop an episode on Friday, hopefully, okay? Talk about SummerSlam. But besides UFC, right, we have some NFL talk a little bit. NFL preseason, man, starts the 1st, which I think is Thursday. We have the Texans and the Bears. And no Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams will not be playing, but I am super interested to see how this goes this year. How all this was going to play out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this NFL season is going to go. Obviously, Raiders on top, right? That's my team, man. But, man, it's going to be interesting. It's crazy we're starting football so soon. Maybe we should do a little fantasy football talk on here. I'm down for it. I'm sure my brother would be down for it. He sends me fantasy football stuff all the time. But, yeah, Thursday already talking football. Thank God, because I have nothing else to talk about, even though I know baseball's getting hot right now. But we'll see. We'll see. And one of the things I really did want to hit on today, this episode's not going to be the longest, but it'll be fun. I wanted to talk about presumed innocent. All right. I said the last episode, on episode 22, I was going to talk about the show. Woo, had to get that out. Now, if you haven't watched the show and you plan on watching the show, skip ahead. Sorry. I gave you that pause period so you can skip ahead. We're talking Presume Innocent. Apple TV, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. And you also have, they're trying to catch you slipping with Ruth's name right there. Ruth Nega. You guys, you know what it is, okay? I'm trying my best here, huh? You got Bill Camp. The guy who stole the show for me a lot was Peter Sarsgaard. I think the dude was amazing in this. And the point of this show was there was this horrific murder, right? Horrific murder with a prosecuting attorney's office, right? And my goodness, and it's based off a book, right? Scott Turo's thriller, Presumed Innocent, and it's a horrific murder that upends the Chicago prosecuting attorney's office when one of its own is suspected of the crime. So this is interesting because there's obsession, sex, politics, and the power and limits of love. All right, and the Jake Gyllenhaal stars in it, right? He's the main prosecutor at the beginning of it, and his partner, who he works with, got brutally murdered. Okay, brutally murdered. All right, so now, like, what do you do? His colleague Karen Polimis, right? And by the way, Jake Gyllenhaal's character's name is Rusty Savage. He's the lead prosecutor, and he's gonna be the one I want to find. I want to find who did this to my partner. Well, once his buddy, his best friend, gets out of being the district attorney, the guys who want to take this on, very first suspect is him. It's Rusty, Jake Gyllenhaal's character. And throughout this whole season, you have flashbacks of adultery, cheating. The fact that his wife stayed with him throughout it blows my mind. Shout outs to her. His kids are involved. Her kids that she didn't even see. She wasn't close with her son. The woman who died. We never really got that story of why. Normally, let's be honest, in life, a lot of the kids end up going with their mom unless there's a drug problem. But this lady was a freaking attorney. The show didn't really tell us any otherwise that she didn't have her life together. Great series. And you find out right through all of it because they're accusing, Jake Gyllenhaal's character as being the one to do it. Spoiler alert. Turn it off, I'm telling you. By the end, we find out that he did not do it, right? He's acquitted of it, the verdict, right? And then the ending, because the whole time I'm like, dude, there's no way he didn't do it. He didn't accuse, but he's assuming the wife did it right at the end because it looks like she's packed up to leave, which I kept telling my wife, I'm like, she's going to leave this guy. There's no way she can deal with this. And by the way, she cheats on her husband too during it. Wild show. And as he's saying, he knows that she was so mad because this lady he killed was also pregnant with this child. Crazy. I'm telling you guys, you need to watch this. He says that he tied her up the way one of their past people that they put in prison, I guess this murderer used to have this signature where he tied people up like a pig, basically. And he admitted to his wife that he did that to Carolyn to hide that the wife really killed them so no one would know, and cleaned up the scene so no one would find it. And she's like, I didn't do that. And out comes the daughter who's 16, said she did it. She killed her. Crazy show. Amazing. Go watch. One of the best things I've watched in a very long time. There's going to be a season 2. Not with this cast, but there's going to be a season 2. I am so stoked about it. I need some more things to watch. There's a couple of things we might try out here soon enough. Apple TV's got some hits. I'm surprised at how many hits Apple TV has. I wanted to talk to you about Deadpool and Wolverine. Life happened. Haven't been able to go see it yet. But they are breaking box office records. I believe they hold now the record for the most money made for a rated R film. Man, they are just breaking records. I can't wait to watch Deadpool versus Wolverine. Tell my wife, y'all, I'm trying to get her to go. Supposedly we too busy. Guess we busy out here in life. It is what it is. I'm the hostess with the mostest. I'm the one that you gotta know. I'm the Mr. Mustache Man. I think I'm keeping this bad boy right here. Every time I see myself, I'm like, hey, what's up, Vato? Oh, kiwale champ. And then every now and then, though, if I stay outside a little too long, I'm like, Hanji, kedapa G. Or, I can act like I'm in Hawaii. Hey, Pono, and wear my little kukui beads, which like is funny because Spanish kukui is like this evil monster, little dang creature. But then the kukui beads like look cool, island style. It is what it is. I don't know. I'm rambling. This is the Jordan episode. Follow us on social media. Get a podcast, video on YouTube, audio. Let's go. Hit with it. Get with it. Times is 10. I'm rolling. I'm strolling. I'm getting you flowing.